This video is a little bit different from the recent anime videos that I have been doing, talking about relating them to real life and other aspects of our own personal life. I wanted to dive into the concept of how anime was for me when I was a kid versus how it is now. I remember as a kid, me watching One Piece and like being in my basement and being the secluded, like nerdy kid back in the day, which I still am a nerd in a sense, just maybe not in the same traditional way that I once was. I just felt like I got made fun of, right? Couldn't really have a community of people that I could be around. Like I remember in college wanting to go to like an anime convention, an anime club where I could talk with other people that are watching anime, but like my friends and other people around me were making fun of me. And I was like, well, okay, I guess I'm not going to go. Like I remember walking out of my dorm one day, walking to go to like the little meetup type of thing, and then something stopped me, and I think it was the opinions of other people, and I started to realize it's just like, why am I putting so much effort and attention onto other people? So it's like, it's great how anime is much more mainstream nowadays than it once was. It's just funny how like people change when other things become popular. When it's new, when it's foreign, like everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm not really into this. But then as soon as the masses start to pick it up, then all of a sudden all these other people start to influx into, say, this genre, this area, this method of thinking or consuming media, which has been something that's cool to see. At the same time, it's just a little frustrating because as a kid, like I kind of was picked on a little bit for watching like and being like the nerdy guy, but I also never really fit in with a lot of the people that I hung around with or that I talked with. And I think that was just my own personal thing because I didn't want to talk with people because I didn't want to be seen, because I just wanted to go back home and watch anime. So that's what I did for quite some time, and that's why like when I went into college I wanted to start being more part of that community. And then as I got older, I started to go to like these anime conventions during COVID, just after COVID, with a friend of mine, and it was cool, it was fun. It's just it wasn't my people per se, and that's why I make the videos that I make now, because it's like I want to help other people like still watch anime, and I still consume it, and I still enjoy it, and I think it's cool to watch. I just think it's a better use of one's time. And I was talking about this with my coach this morning. Is like, when we don't have a plan, like, are we wasting each other's time? I don't think so. I think there's value with everything. From me watching anime and going to those conventions, I was like, okay, it's cool. It's just, it wasn't me per se. Like, it was an aspect of me, but I just like watching anime. And then I also like learning about business and psychology and personal growth and like connecting different dots together and doing more abstract thinking. So I took an aptitude test the other day, and I'll leave a link to the one that I took down in the description if you guys want to take it as well. Highly recommend it. I found out that I was a lot more of an abstract thinker, which makes it for a good entrepreneur and like a business person, along with like a destructive reasoning. So like I can destruct certain like ideas and concepts, and then I can abstract them to create new ideas. As you've probably been able to realize from the past videos that I've been doing over the past couple of months, like I bring in these different ideas into the story to help us have this sense of clarity. And that's why when I like look back at my younger self and who was watching anime, like I'm grateful that he did and was watching those things, because it helped me realize that like, hey, it's okay if I'm alone. It's okay if I'm doing my own thing. And I can relate myself to like, say, Luffy, who was the first anime that I ended up watching. And then I can be like, well, he was able to go out on his own and he was able to achieve his goals. I mean, he's still working towards his goals, and it's been, I feel like 20 years at this point in time, but he's doing what feels right in his heart. So it's just like, if he's able to do that, then I can do the same thing too. And that's why I'm grateful that anime is becoming a lot more popular and mainstream, because it's helping people realize that like, you know, it's cool that people are watching this, because it is like, it's a form of adult cartoons, from my opinion, at least from the animes that I watch. They're a lot more violent and like just overall intense. And I think that that's a way for me still to kind of like remain a child, because at the anime expo that I went to this most recent year, when I was talking with one of the ladies, she's like, yeah, it's just because I want to still stay like a child. She was in her 30s or something like that. And I was like, I get that, but it's like, we also kind of had to grow up at a certain point. That's why I like going to like business events or expos or like speaking engagements or talking about business or real estate or making money or sales or personal growth or like psychedelics or spirituality, yoga, fitness, any of those realms, because like they intrigue me just as much. And that's why I'd like to bring in those concepts into anime, so that hopefully maybe you can also look at the world from a different point of view than you are right now, and still enjoy your favorite shows that you are watching. Because like I still watch anime, I still watch TV. Like I was thinking about doing an episode on Gen V as well, and I might do that here in the coming days. We'll see. I just find it interesting how when something is new and beginning and nobody trusts it. And it can be applied to me as well too. It's just like in the beginning, all my friends doubted me for what I was doing. They would always tell me like, do you not have fun? I'm like, this is me having fun, like reading, listening to podcasts, meditating, like journaling, doing all these things that was personal growth and self-development rise, and just watching like My Hero Academia every Saturday morning. And that was the one anime that I would watch. And I watched that my entire life. Well, the entire time when I was going through this whole processing and growth period. And that's why I have the anime channel, and will continue to do this, is because this is just something it was the one thing that I ended up keeping when I had to give everything else up. So if I was able to change, and if I was able to make these impacts when I was a part of this community, and I was that small little nerdy kid that didn't know how to talk to anybody, and now that it's becoming a lot more popular, maybe I can reach more people. At least that's my hope. And if I am reaching people, and like I said, like I appreciate you guys commenting on these videos and providing these different perspectives and different ways of looking at like the world and the anime characters, and keeping me encouraged to keep going forward, because there are some days where it's just hard, you guys. But I think that's the big part of like, people will look back and they'll see you right now, and they might say certain things to you. And all I can say from my own personal experience is like, keep chugging along. If you know that you have a dream, if you know that you have a purpose, if you know that you have something that you want to achieve, regardless of what anybody else says, it'll be like anime in the beginning, back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s or so, where nobody talked about it or nobody was enjoying it. Like, I mean, we were enjoying it obviously, but for the most part, the masses, it wasn't popularized at that point in time. And now we get into 2020, into the 2020s, and all of a sudden now everybody's like, oh, anime is the bee's knees. But we started back when it wasn't cool, and now it's cool. So it's the same thing with our life. Like, we can look at our life as like, it's not going to be cool at first, but the more we do, the more we improve, the more we share, the more we grow, the more we communicate, the more popular we'll become. And then us in the beginning, like you guys that are with me right now, which I appreciate it, you'd be like, yeah, I was with him when he was just getting started. And I think that's the cool thing about like watching things grow and how they do grow with popularity, because if we're providing value, we're providing new insight, we're reaching more people, then I think that just is the best way for the world to change for the good. I hope this made sense for you guys. I really hope I hope you're finding value in them. I'm enjoying making them on a daily basis, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video.